So before we move on to part 1 of the menu planning module, I'd just like to give you an overview of the 5 parts of this module. So first up we have essential food groups and serve sizes to give you an understanding of what those are. Then we will move on and check your 2-week menu against a nutrition checklist. Thirdly, we will start to assess recipes. We will then move on and start renovating recipes, and then we'll have a look at some tips to help you meet serve sizes within those recipes and across the course of not only a day but your 2-week menu. In this session you will learn about the essential food groups and also how to interpret a child serve of a food from these food groups. These food groups and serve sizes are taken from the Australian Dietary Guidelines and the Nourish Cookbook. So the essential food groups are grains, bread and cereals, dairy foods, meat and meat alternatives, fruit, vegetables and fat. Foods are grouped together because they provide similar amounts of key nutrients. For example, the key nutrients of the dairy food group include calcium and protein, whilst the fruit group is a good source of vitamins, especially vitamin C. Now let's have a look at each of the essential food groups and what foods we might expect to find in them. So in the grains, bread and cereals section, we have bread, many different types including ordinary sliced breads, pittas, muffins and flatbreads to name a few, which should be whole grain, wholemeal or rye where possible. Cereals, including breakfast cereals such as porridge oats and whole wheat biscuits. Grains such as rice, barley and corn. And other products such as pastas, noodles, muffins and rice cakes. Always choose a whole grain and low GI where possible. For dairy and alternatives, we have milks, so fresh, long life, evaporated and powdered. We'll talk about low fat varieties on a later slide. We have yogurt, plain and flavoured. We have cheese, hard cheeses such as cheddar, red Leicester, Edam and soy, and some cream cheese and other cheeses such as ricotta. So our meat and meat alternatives, we have our lean meat such as beef, lamb, veal, pork and kangaroo, poultry such as chicken and turkey, fish and seafood such as fish, prawns, crabs and mussels, eggs, either chicken or duck eggs, nuts and seeds such as almonds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, legumes and beans, so things like baked beans, kidney beans, lentils, chickpeas and tofu. For our fruits we have POM fruit, which includes things like apples and pears, citrus fruit such as oranges and mandarins, stone fruit, apricots, peaches and plums, tropical fruits such as bananas, pineapple and mango, and other fruits could include grapes and kiwi fruit. Our vegetables can be classified as followed: dark green and cruciferous, so things like broccoli and cabbage, lettuce, spinach and snow peas. Our root vegetables include potatoes, carrots and onions. Legumes and beans, as well as appearing in the meat and meat alternatives, can also be classed as a vegetable and include things like chickpeas and lentils. And then we have other vegetables such as tomatoes, celery, avocado, mushrooms, pumpkin and beans. So our last essential food group is the fat group. We have saturated fat, which is found in meat and meat products, dairy, coconuts, palm oil and margarine. Also found in many processed and packaged foods such as crisps, chips, takeaway foods, bakery items like sausage rolls, cakes, biscuits and so on. And these foods really should be limited. Unsaturated fats, there are 2 types. We have the polyunsaturated fats found in oily fish and nuts, and monounsaturated found in avocado, olive and canola oils. These should be included in the diet in small quantities. Finally, we have trans fats, which are found in processed and packaged foods, takeaway foods and some butters and margarines and other items such as biscuits. These too should be limited in the diet. So we've covered the essential food groups. Now let's have a look at what a child serve size is for the foods from these groups. So these serves are what the child should have whilst attending childcare, not over the course of a whole day. So you can see with grains they should have 2 serves, dairy and alternatives 2 serves, meat and meat alternatives 1 serve, a half a serve of fruit, 1 serve of vegetables and 1.5 serves of fat. So knowing how many serves from each food group are required will help you to understand if the food served at your centre is providing the recommended amounts of nutrients whilst the children are at daycare. So before we move on to look at specific child serve sizes for each food group, just a word about measurements. You can use household measures such as spoons, cups or jugs, or you can weigh out the ingredients. If you find it hard to visualise what a serve size of food might look like, keep your measuring spoons and cups handy the next time you're preparing or serving up a meal, and take some actual measurements. For example, you might want to measure out a half a cup of cooked veggies to see what that looks like. So looking at our grains, breads and cereals food group, a serve of bread is 1 slice. Cereal, such as breakfast cereal, would be half a cup. Pasta, rice and noodles is half a cup of cooked. Flour is 1/4 of a cup. Crackers and crisp breads, a serve would be 20 grams. Crumpets and muffins, a serve is simply 1 crumpet or muffin. Remembering also that we need 2 serves from this food group whilst the child is at daycare. So in our dairy food group, some typical serve sizes are milk 100 ml, cheese 15 grams, yoghurt 75 grams, custard 100 ml, evaporated milk 40 ml, milk powder 15 grams, ricotta cheese 50 grams and cream cheese 90 grams. Remembering again the child needs 2 serves from this food group. Now before we move to the next food group, a word about the choice of dairy depending on the child's age. Recommendations from the Australian Dietary Guidelines state that children under the age of 2 should have full fat dairy products, as they are going through rapid growth and development at this life stage and they need the additional energy and nutrients. However, by the time the child gets to 2, this growth and development has slowed and they no longer require that additional energy, so they could have a semi-skim or a high-low dairy product. However, skim varieties are not recommended until the child reaches aged 5. So with our meat and meat alternatives, red or white meat is 50 grams raw, fish 60 grams raw, legumes 30 grams dry or 85 grams cooked. 1 egg is a serve, a 60 gram egg, 85 grams of tofu, 60 grams of hummus. Or TVP, which is a meat substitute, 20 grams dry. So remembering the children need 1 serve from this food group, and also remembering to use the leanest meat possible, trimming all visible fat and removing skin. So with fruit, fresh tinned or frozen fruit, a half a cup is 1 serve, or a medium piece of fruit at 150 grams in weight, such as a medium-sized banana or apple, or 30 grams of dried fruit. And children need half a serve from this food group. Vegetables, a half a cup of cooked vegetables or 75 grams is 1 serve, or raw salad vegetables 1 cup, again 75 grams is 1 serve. And children need 1 serve from this food group per day. So in the fat food group, a serve of margarine is 1 teaspoon, cooking oil 1 teaspoon, cream or sour cream 3 teaspoons, and coconut milk also 3 teaspoons. And children need 1.5 serves from this food group. So in conclusion, we've looked at the essential food groups and what foods sit in those food groups, and we've also looked at what child serves are of some of the foods from those food groups. Next, we'll have a look at checking your 2-week menu against a nutrition checklist. But before you move on to the next presentation, I'd ask you to please take the quiz, write a comment on the discussion board, and then move on to the next presentation. Thank you.